Hi, welcome to the Hard90's podcast. I'm Thomas Agla, and I'm here with Connor Curley. Connor, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Thomas. It's good to be back after a little vacation that we took. I don't know, 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah. So I just wanted to start off saying some of the stuff that we say on the that I say on the podcast is wrong. So I put that in the description. So if ever you guys question whatever I'm
Oh,
saying, like I said Bill Walton went to USC. I was thinking Southern California, but he actually went to UCLA. So I put that type of
oh,
stuff in the description. So just in case you guys are thinking, oh, like you
yeah.
guys are
We're not
saying
trying
it
to feed you
wrong.
false facts, everybody. Yeah,
Yeah, we're trying
we'll
to
get we'll credibilify ourselves.
yeah,
I guess if you want to
we're
say
trying to
that.
keep our ethos. Trying to keep it straight. So,
Mm,
Connor, you are in your dorm. I am in my room, and we are just gonna do the
we're having a
podcast
blast.
again. So,
Mm-hmm.
I actually had planned a podcast with Macey Lynch. Macey went to our high school. She was my grade, and she was a swimmer at Fairfax High School. And so I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll do a podcast with Macey. But then she asked me, "Do you have any? What are we going to talk about?" But then I didn't tell her because
Mhm.
I don't even really tell you what we're going to talk about. It's like the
Yeah.
Matthew
No,
McConaughey
it's
thing.
more natural.
Yeah, it's more
Yeah,
natural. And
more
so I was like,
natural.
I'm not going to tell you. I had some stuff written for you and and
Mm.
I used that with her, but it didn't flow.
Oh,
So
freaking leaving me in the dust, huh?
not
Switching
leaving you in
partners.
the dust. I got to talk to other people too, but it was
No,
like
I got
I
you.
asked questions and it didn't really connect. I didn't save it because I was like, oh my goodness, this is so bad. So I thought
Just
about
didn't go well. Just didn't vibe.
it didn't vibe. I made up stuff on the fly. Unlike now, I got my little notepad so I can actually refer to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking
Right.
it's similar to Dustin Pedroia when he got interviewed in the locker room, where his these reporters were asking what do you think this pitcher was thinking when he hit your teammate? And it was the same question over and over again. He's like,
He was just like he was pissed off, I think, right?
yeah, he was pissed off. He was like, dude, can I go home? It's they
Right.
were pulling the
Yeah.
questions out of midair. And so
Well, and Dustin Pedroia usually he doesn't usually intervene in that kind of stuff, right? He usually just takes it, or maybe I'm thinking of someone else, but
no, I
I don't
mean
know. He
you're
doesn't
right.
like.
He
I
he
feel
just
like
plays
yeah,
his game.
yeah.
Yeah. So he's known his manager Tito or Terry Francona, the head coach of the Indians,
Hmm.
he said in an interview, yeah, he's abrasive. He says and he does what he wants. He can get away with some stuff. It's he said to someone when he was working out, "Oh, you're the World Series champ." And they're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Don't get used to it." And then he started benching. So it's just I don't know. He just does what he wants, and it's it's annoying if someone were to go into something that was planned for a while and not come prepared. So if you were
Right.
to do your
Yeah, I feel that. I mean,
if you were to go to your football practice and you didn't practice at all, which is totally not true, but if you didn't practice at all, then and you
mhm.
expect to play, then your coach is going to be annoyed because he's like, oh, this guy didn't prepare, but he wants to play.
I love how you're relating that to your trial podcast with Macy. I mean, we're a sports podcast, so it makes sense. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just funny because it makes it. I understand how I get where you come from.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I just wanted to connect it to. I listen to these TED talks, like I always tell you, but I used to do it on Spotify, but now I
Mhm.
actually like watching videos as well. So there's a
You
soccer
watch those are
referee.
like 10 minutes though.
What? Which ones?
Like the TED Talk videos, they're all like 10 minutes. You watch the whole thing?
Yeah. When I get bored, I'm like, yeah, I'll just watch it. So
Yeah.
I watch that usually in the morning, but there's this soccer referee, Frederik Imbo, and
Hmm.
he was describing what it's like to be a ref in whatever league he's officiating in.
What's his
And
name?
Frederik Imbo. Are
Okay.
you looking it up?
Yeah, you can continue.
Okay. Well, he had this like analogy. He was saying 20 euros. Who wants the 20 euros? And he's like on the stage, and everyone was like raising their hands. Okay, they're raising their hands, and then he crumpled it. Kept on asking the same question. Who wants it? Like less and less. He chewed it. He like chewed on it. He put it in his mouth. He's like, who wants it? And so there's even less people. He spat on it. No, he didn't spit on it. No, he like threw it on the ground and then like he stepped on it. And then
Yeah.
after a
So
while, there was only like maybe one or two people still raising their hands. Like, why do you guys still want the 20 euros? And they said, because it's 20 euros. He's like, exactly. And then he said this quote. It's not exactly from him because like my roommate's girlfriend heard this also, and like their professor uses it. But he said, people may attack you, criticize you, or ignore. Okay, well, first off, she didn't criticize me or anything, Macey. I'm just saying, like, whatever. If I do
you're
something,
trying to throw her under the bus right now.
no,
You're trying to make this
like,
all her fault.
but after this quote, it'll make more sense. So, like, people may attack you, criticize you, or ignore you. They can crumple you up with their words, spit you out, or even walk all over you. But remember, whatever they do or say, you will always keep your value. So, I mean, if people mess up and like they know they mess up, I mean, yeah, it sucks, but it doesn't change how you are, and it shouldn't change how you should go about your business. Yeah, what
Yeah,
I'm
no, I
saying.
agree. I think it's perfect with the money. Like you can't really use any other analogy, I guess, than the money because the money still has value at the end of the day. It's just in a different form than you found it, I guess.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I think that's important because we always talk about how like you need to keep moving forward and doing stuff like that. And so I guess kind of shifting your perspective in life, molding yourself into different ways, like you said, watching TED Talks, gaining knowledge from other like aspects of life, and like adding that to your repertoire. I guess it just
hmm
you won't be the same person that you were when you didn't have that information. So yeah, it does add value, and it's in a good way, even if you
yeah,
might look like a crumpled up euro.
yeah. You still have that value that you had,
Right.
and so there's like other TED Talks that I watch too, where it's like a lot of people get choked up under pressure. It's like, oh, this guy choked. This guy like he already has it all, but then he's at that point, and then everyone knows if he does this, if he shoots this shot, if he hits this ball, if he strikes this guy out, the game's over. But then
Yeah.
there are just so many times where it's like it doesn't happen in the end, and then like, why does that happen?
It's that fine line of just risk or reward, I guess,
hmm
for closing pitchers in the MLB, especially because I mean, a lot of the time, I mean, you're a closer, you're in there to strike people out. You do that most of the time, but then there's that one time when you're like, oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna strike out this hitter, and then he just hits a nuke off you to win the game. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Don't you ever get that feeling though, like sometimes where it's like when I did the podcast with Macey,
yeah.
I was like, I had that feeling. I was like, okay, I'm not prepared. I didn't have
So
that same feeling when you and I came into this right now. I'm like,
you
okay, I actually like wrote stuff down, and then I'm like, I didn't really think about it too much. It's just kind of doing it to do it, and it's like flowing.
yeah. So I don't know how it sounds like you just went. I feel I don't want to say you went into it with the wrong mindset, but I think it's more of like I think it's more of like a relationship. It's definitely like a more on like a relationship level, I guess.
Yeah,
I would think because me and you have been friends for shoot, what were we 2015 first year of high school? So I don't know. We'll say like 7 years. I'm not gonna do the math. Somewhere around there.
yeah.
Quite a long time. And I mean, you and Macey, I don't know when you guys first like middle school maybe or you think high school.
No, it's just more high school.
Yeah, so it's definitely more distant, but it's probably the relation. It's like it's not as close. So I mean, it's I I don't know because I feel like if you meet someone on the street and like you did a podcast with them, I feel like you could vibe with them pretty well and
hmm
just like get the ball rolling. Just because like you don't have I think expectations play a big role into it. Like maybe you were expecting a little more out of her, and maybe she
Yeah,
was expecting a
I
little
was
more
just
out of you.
expecting. I was expecting more of like what I could say, but then trying to pull it out of thin air just doesn't work
Right,
sometimes.
and yeah, and like sometimes it doesn't work out. So I mean, it happens. You hit a dud every once in a while, so you
Hmm.
just got to go back to the drawing board, I guess. And I'm your back. I'm the backup plan, baby.
You're not the backup. You're not the
No,
backup.
yeah, no hard feelings to Macey, but
No,
Macey's
yeah,
our friend.
this is
Yeah,
just
we're
like
not
straight
trying to throw her
talking.
under the bus.
This is straight talking because at the end of the
Yeah.
day, it's like I'm the one that's running it, and then I didn't like playing it out well because people can have interviews. Anderson Cooper I watched this video. He had an interview
Hmm.
with Eminem, and it's like he said, yeah, sometimes it's just awkward because you have to like reenact a shot if it's not taken well. So the genuine, like is it genuinity or like the realism of like talking isn't
Yeah.
as
Realism,
as
yeah.
true as it was the first time. So if the shot wasn't good, then they have to retake it, and it's like,
Dude,
what are you doing?
I love that you said that because it just makes me think of like memories, like special like memories that you have with your friends or teammates that like
Hmm.
only you guys have. It's like I feel like it's only a sports thing. Like of course there's like instances where you could be out with friends and like there's a wild night and stuff can go on, but like sports, you just have those go on trips and stuff and you have those memories that you can't like you want to capture with a picture or like a video, but if there was a picture or video, then it wouldn't be as like uh I don't want to say realistic. It wouldn't what's the word? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not it's just it's that special that it can't like be captured in a photo or video.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm just playing back like memories in my head when you just said that. Like,
The Florida trip. I mean, we got the Florida trip on video, but still, we had
yeah,
so much fun that wasn't captured on the video.
yeah. I mean, also like the walk off with Kyle Casey.
Oh yeah, Hayfield, wasn't it?
There was Hayfield, but first it was Madison.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That was big time.
Uh-huh. We were
What he hit it? Where did he hit? Was it? It wasn't a bunt. His bunt was against Hayfield, wasn't it?
no, that was like a ground ball to third, I think.
And he scored from third, didn't he? Or did he hit the ball?
So Casey hit the ball to third.
Who was on third
JT was
then?
on second. I think it was two outs. JT
Because I
ran
remember,
to third when the third baseman threw to first. Kyle was
and then
safe, and then JT
and
slid it
then
home.
yeah, I remember Lanceman like slipped and fell on his ass. It was,
Really?
I think it was Hayfield, but yeah, those were. Kyle Casey got pied after the Madison one, right? Or was that the Hayfield? It was one of them.
I think it was
I
the
can't.
Hayfield because Hayfield was
Yeah,
senior night and they had
right.
that over there.
Yeah, yeah. No, that was crazy.
Yeah, it's like memories like those that I felt more relaxed like when you were talking about, oh, this just only some things that you can relate to with your sports teammates because I guess you don't
Right.
really get that if you're like doing a like in math club or something. You're like, oh, it's only like 3 seconds. Or
Hey
like
guys,
I
you
mean,
like these
yeah, it's the
equations?
same, but like the physical attributes of like being an athlete and like doing that and the adrenaline pumping with with a walk off or
Mm-hmm.
something. It's just it's something. It's a feeling that's like no other, where you just kind of go crazy and then celebrate with your teammates.
Yeah, it's you got to be in the moment. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I wrote this down. I didn't really plan about saying it, but I was
Mm-hmm.
thinking like there are some athletes that they're out for like a year because of injury or something, but no one if they play again the next year, then no one really knows that they were injured unless it was written about, unless they were like a top recruit or like a 5 star. That's what usually happens with them, but it doesn't really happen at all
Are
with
you
like
talking
high
about
school
like
players.
college sports?
Yeah, college or just in general. Like if someone's in a minor league player that no one really cares about. It's not like a top prospect. So it's like
Right. Mm-hmm.
no one knows your backstory if you got injured. So like don't let it affect you when the time comes to play. Because you can always say like, "Oh, I was injured for this long," and there are different factors that come into play. But at the end of the day, like people are all striving toward the same goal. Like whoever's going to finish at the finish line first, or whoever's trying to get that starting job. I mean, whatever you're gonna do, try to
Yeah.
win. Like it's just trying to win.
Mm-hmm.
So
For sure.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, no one really cares in terms of the opponent facing you. Like, oh, this guy was injured. Like I'm still gonna try to win. I'm still gonna try to pummel you if I'm like on the football field. But it's like something that you have to dig
Mm-hmm.
down and just say, okay, it's like pedal on the gas. This like I've already spent too long sitting because of injury. It's like this is like my only chance to like really go at it.
Yeah, you just got to put your head down and go, pretty much. Just like
Yeah,
a racehorse almost.
yeah. I
Just put the
saw
blinders on and run.
I there's also like this other TED talk where it's like about being focused, and usually people have like these rituals that they do. So I took this saying studies on golfing, bowling, water polo find that short rituals can lead to more consistent and accurate performance under pressure. So Connor, do you have any like rituals that you do like before you go when you play football?
Mm-hmm. Rituals. I definitely think in like college sports, I definitely think it's like a type of music. It plays a big role for a lot of guys. I think like you can get hype, or you can get in the right mindset with the right music. I know a lot of guys like to get like taped and stuff. If they don't get taped, then something's off. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff. But for me, it's just music. I'll listen to a certain type of music, probably
Hmm.
rap. Yeah, just get hype. Maybe some hard rock just to get the heart rate going. But I don't know. I'm not. I'm like a gentle giant. I don't really get mad before games, so
Yeah.
you won't really see me like expressing that much emotion because I'm locked in. And like obviously, it's not bad if you express emotion, but I'm just like I'm focused, and I feel like I don't know. I just got a lot of stuff to focus on, so I don't really show it that much.
Yeah.
Outward emotion.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah, like because everyone's different. There was this Instagram video. I forgot who the wrestler was, but he was like a Hall of Fame wrestler. And when he would go out on the mat, he would do like these three things where he would kind of like slap his thighs, and
Mm-hmm.
then he would like pull on his singlet, and then usually they wrestlers they go in for a handshake before the match, and he would kind of slap it. He would kind of slap the other like opponent's
Yeah.
hand before he would go. And so it's just more of like a pump up for him. Like for you, that it would be different. Like you said, it would just kind of be chill and then, go at it. But like everyone's different when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to like doing before competition. But usually like the consistency plays a role with how they go about their business because um, I was hitting the other day with Brian Hennessy off the tee, and I was hitting lefty, and now I
Yeah.
say like, dude, let's do one and done. So like off the tee or something. And so like what after one of
Okay.
my hits off the tee, he's like, oh, you look like Ichiro. I was like, oh, okay. And so I did the Ichiro thing when he goes up to the bat, and he like puts his bat out and holds his shirt. And then I was about to hit the ball, and I was like, wait, this feels so weird and I stepped out. I was like, okay, this doesn't feel right because usually I step in the box, I look at the ball, I put the ball on, and then I do a check swing,
Mm-hmm.
and then I go back and then I go. But like even if a Hall of Famer does it, he's done it thousands of times compared to me just trying to do it on the last one because it's one and done. And so
Right.
why would I just copy someone else if I haven't prepared that on my own?
Mm-hmm.
So like Kobe Bryant models his game after Michael Jordan, and he's good because he practices that all the time. It's not just like a high schooler saying, I'm going to do what Michael Jordan's going to do, but they don't practice it until they do it in game time. That
Yeah.
doesn't work out all the time. Same with everything else. It's just like a matter of consistency and practice before taking
Mm-hmm.
it out to the game.
Going back to the rituals, what popped up in my head was Kyrie Irving of the Nets. He was on Sports Center. He was taking like I don't know, like smoke, like a scented smoke like candle, and he was just like waving it around the arena to get all the bad like juju out. And I thought that was pretty funny.
he,
That's
he
just
doesn't
like an
do it
example I
usually.
have of. I don't know. It might have just been like just to get in the media that one night, but like he was literally just walking around the arena like shaking the smoke around, and it was like he's trying to like get all the bad spirits away or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but what were we just talking about? What point did you end on?
I was
I was
saying
gonna.
Kobe Bryant like practices
Oh,
with
right,
Michael
right, right.
Jordan.
Yeah, no, yeah. An additional point that I know they had like the 30 for 30s on ESPN. I don't know if it was on 30 for 30, but they would just show like Kobe after games. He would just go out and shoot buckets for hours, even after like long games that he played in that he would just insanely gas. He would go back to like the Lakers practice court and he would just continue to practice his craft and stuff like that. So it definitely takes time to get to where he was, but he worked hard. So
Yeah. He was in this interview and they were saying like how come you were like the number one overall player in the state, I think it was in Pennsylvania where he was drafted from.
hmm
And he said, "Oh yeah, when I was like 12, I would practice like 3 hours every day with intent. 3 hours of getting better every day instead of just saying I practice for 3 hours. Like everyone says that. That's why like
right.
it's different if a school practices for 3 hours with intent than it is for a school that practices with 3 hours with no intent and just saying, we've been doing all the work. I don't know why we're
That's
not
so.
winning.
I never thought about it like that. That's actually a good point.
Yeah, so it's just like a matter of like thinking of how effective it will be when it comes to like play time.
Yeah, no, I definitely kind of see that because like my coach, my offensive line coach, he's been saying that like I look like kind of stiff like when I go through my like stances and stuff, and like you want to be kind of loose. But I told him I'm like when I want to practice like this, so in the game when I get tired, I don't want to lose that like form, I guess, and
Hmm.
technique because then I'll get lazy. But if I do it now in practice, then it'll just carry over. So I think that's a good word to focus on, intent, during practice, because a lot of the times it's just I mean we the guys on our team love to play football, a lot of them, but then there are guys who just go through the motions almost. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's a good word. I think I'll focus on it being intentative. That's not a word, but I'll
more.
focus on intent this week.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. More intentional with your actions. And
More
yeah,
intentional. There you go. That's the word.
it's you practice how you play. And it's
Hmm.
easy to see who hustles out there, like you said, and who just goes through the motions. But there's one point,
Right.
Shaquille O'Neal, he was doing this interview with Graham Bensinger, and he said, honestly, I did not give it my all in practice because why? And his explanation was, why would I give my all in practice? I'd rather give my all in the game and then go all out. And then he was saying that's not the advice that I would give to players. No one should really listen to this, but that's what worked for him. And and he was a freak of nature also. So because sometimes like people who
Yeah.
own the court are baseball players or like first rounders in high school who own other high school competition, they know that if they were
Hmm.
to like even take their foot off the pedal, off the gas, that they would still probably outperform light years ahead of their competition. But when they get to the next level, it's a different story because everyone is like that.
That's That's what I was gonna hit on. Yeah, you can pull that crap in high school where you're naturally gifted athlete and you don't have to really work hard. But as soon as you hit the next level, everybody's a naturally gifted athlete and they're the best in their high school class. So I mean, it's a lot different than just yeah, I don't really need to practice that hard because I know I'm gonna sauce these kids. And then you do. But then when you get to college, oh boy, you're going up against adults that have been in the arena, I guess you could say, for 4+ years, and they have way more experience than you. And I mean, like, there's definitely kids with natural talent like Zion and like LaMelo who they're just crazy good. But I mean, for the majority of guys that were like outstanding in high school, it's not going to be that way, like right away in college without any work.
Yeah. And I think the difference between them also is they know that they're good, but they're also having fun when they do it.
For sure, for sure.
Because there are a lot of good players out there that are pretty serious when they play, yet we haven't heard of them because when it comes to game time, it's like they're so stiff. Like
Yeah.
yesterday, I was playing pickup basketball, dude. I got so upset. I threw the ball against the wall, and then after I did that, I was like, "This is pickup. This is pickup. It's for fun."
What?
And I'm like,
Thomas getting mad?
"Oh, I get mad when it comes to sports. You know that. Don't ask.
Uh,
Don't say
Pick
it
up
like
basketball
that."
though? Pick up
Basketball,
basketball?
pick up basketball. I was guarding my friend Ben. Oh my goodness, he kept on splashing threes, and I was like, "The heck? Why you keep on pulling up like that?" Kept on splashing. I got the ball. I threw it
You
against the wall.
gotta
I was like,
clamp him up, bro.
"Yeah, that's the thing."
Mm.
I kind of want to see them if they're able to shoot it or not. But he was able to do it plenty of times, and I didn't
Well,
learn
if he does
from
it
it.
multiple times, yeah, you gotta stop him.
That's
You
what's
gotta
called
stop him
that's
the next
insanity.
time.
Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Mhm.
So
You're getting more into basketball, aren't you? You're starting to play pickup left and right nowadays.
now I am, yeah, it's more fun. Like I'm better when I like drive into the paint and actually move. It's like I wrote this down yesterday. Kind of relates to baseball also. Like it's better to manipulate a ball if you're a pitcher and like it's better to manipulate a ball, so that also means like control it than it is to so that's like driving in the paint and then like making jump shots that are good shots to take than it is to throw a ball hard without command or try to be like shoot the ball from a 3 point shot that's not a good shot because like no one else is in range and just expect it to go in. So it's like taking the shots that you want to take that probably have a higher percentage of getting in than it is to just go for a long shot and or throw the ball hard and expect to get looked at,
Mm.
but you can't even control it.
Mhm.
So that
Right.
there's everyone's like that now where it's like I got to shoot the three or I got to throw 90 plus. I need to get
Hmm.
looked at,
Yeah.
but the person who's able to manipulate the ball or drive in the paint, like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he's like everyone wants to shoot the
Arif?
three, but it's easier to go in and drive. Well, he's like 7 feet tall, 7 feet plus or something, but it's still
Yeah.
there are other people that are like at that height, and it's like it's just taking what you get and getting the higher percentage of success rather than like going for the long shot and you know that you're not good at it.
Yeah, Kareem is 7'2", but that's a good point that you make about you got to take the easier shot over the one that gets you more attention. 'Cause it's like taking the road less traveled, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure this is talked about a lot, but where was I going with that? Yeah, you just got all the guys in spotlight shooting threes and stuff, but then you got the workhorses down in the paint who are getting boards and putting up the easy layups. So yeah, you got to pick your poison, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Either you're in the spotlight or you're going to be in the spotlight. It's just going to take a little longer when you're in the paint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like Quenton Nelson, dude. Awesome O line. And
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
so consistent. I read this stat. It's like he only let like three guys through in the first three seasons that he's been there. Like he couldn't block them. Only
Yeah,
three
he probably
guys
didn't
out
give
of
up that many sacks.
yeah, so and people take notice of that because although it's not like the offensive performances that you would see Tom Brady or um or Patrick Mahomes do day in and day out, like he's doing it consistently, but people don't notice because they see the offensive performances. Like
Yeah. Us O linemen, we don't get the recognition we deserve. You think the quarterback is doing all that protection? No.
uh-huh.
Just throwing the ball. I mean, quarterbacks are important, obviously. Wide receivers are important. But what are you gonna do if you don't got any blockers, huh?
Yeah, see, that's good. It's like you're always there. You're always watching your guy's back so that he can succeed. Your success is to protect him. Their success is to move the ball forward. And so that's like
Right.
you're the bodyguard. You're the guy to go to or the guy to get through.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I listened to this podcast also with Aaron Feld, the Oregon University football strength coach. You know who he is. What's
Yeah,
his motto? Do you know what his motto is, or like what's his
gosh,
quote?
dang it. I know what it is. I know what it is. Stop it. What is it? It's not get big. Shoot, what is it? Gosh, dang it.
Something with the arms.
Uh, uh, arms. Oh yeah. Fill the sleeve, baby.
Yes. Yeah, fill the sleeves.
Yeah. All
So
right. But
he was
gave you a little bit
saying,
of a hint, but
yeah, it's fine. You got it either way. He was saying like he's talking about in this quote that I'm about to say, he's talking about like preparation also. So your brain cannot tell the difference between vividly imagined scenarios infused with emotion. Your brain cannot tell the difference between that and you actually doing it. So what he's saying is mental reps, like visualizing I will be successful. Your brain can't tell the difference with it being real and what you're imagining because it's mixed with emotions. And like he got that from this like sports psychologist that he went to or whatever conference. But that's why you hear these Olympic athletes or whoever, these top tier athletes say, I visualize my success. And it's like they play it out in their head. And it's also like I saw this video, Randy Johnson pitching. He would like strike someone out or something, or they would strike out looking. And he walked off the mound, still staring them down. He won the battle, but he's like staring the guy down. And then Tom House coached him, his pitching coach, like off to the side. And he on Twitter, he like posted saying, yeah, like he practiced doing that. He practiced like striking out someone and then looking someone down. It's the preparation before anything else happens, before it actually happens, and then when it comes, although it hasn't happened yet, you're already accustomed to it, and it's like everything flows.
That's great. I didn't know that about the fact about the brain. That's pretty interesting. Got a lot more visualizing to do.
Yeah. See, it's like the mental reps. You know, like a lot of people focus on like the physical aspects of a sport, but then you can have a Ferrari, but not the engine because like that's a quote that many people use.
The Ferrari, but not the engine, baby.
Yeah, you get a Ferrari, but no engine in it at all. So it's like you got to make the engine work. That's what keeps it going. All right, it's all in the head. That's what people say. Yogi Berra, baseball is 90% physical, but the other half is mental. That should be the quote. I think that's the quote. But yeah, it's true. It's like
I think it's.
Wait, say it.
No, you can go ahead. Yeah, you can.
No, you say.
I thought. I don't know if it's. I thought it was like 10% physical, 90%. That doesn't make any sense. It's fine. Well, you want to look it up right quick?
Yeah, but either way, it's like
I'll get it.
Okay. Either way, it's like everything's physical when it comes to sports, but when it's mental, it's mental. Okay, you have it?
Yeah, he said baseball is 90% mental, the other half is physical.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's like the math doesn't make sense, but it actually does make sense in a way that yeah, it does make sense in a way. It's like in Anchorman, Paul Rudd, his character, he said this about like this cologne that he used 60% of the time. It works every time. And that doesn't make any sense at all. But there's like some give and take with whatever, but it's just like people give out these percentages and it doesn't really have to make sense 100% of the time because it's really that feeling of, okay, I need to prepare more. I need to do this more.
I'm glad you brought up that point about mental, what'd you say? Mental reps, because I think that helps me a lot in just learning our schemes, I guess, because we have a lot of plays and like they're not too difficult to learn. But when I'm because I'm in the second, what do you call it? I'm in the depth chart. I'm second right now, fighting for the first spot, first spot, but I'm second right now. So when I'm not in, that's like when I try to maximize my time the most because like when I'm in, getting reps at the first spot, then I just got to focus on whatever I'm doing then. But when I'm watching the first guy do his steps, I'm looking for stuff that I can improve on that will help me become better than he will in the end game. So I love being like watching, because that just gives me like the extra like hand on what I can do better than him, or what I can improve on that'll eventually lead me to start over him. So I love getting mental reps.
Yeah, mental reps. You're always learning. Like the same TED talk about the studies of having short rituals will lead to like more consistent, accurate performances. It also said something along the lines of like too much thinking, like negative thought process in the brain when you're doing something, like when you're about to uh, like sink in a putt or something. If you're thinking too much negativity in your brain instead of thinking about the putt, then that's going to deter your performance. And so it's good what you're doing because you're always learning on the side. But when it comes to game time, since you were always thinking about it and like making those reads when you're on the sideline watching the players, when you're in the game,
Right.
that thought process goes in your head and then you just perform. But if you think too much on the field, then it's like there's too much in the brain and there's too much going on in front of you.
shut
It
down.
just won't fit. It just won't like really process as well as it would. You're just gonna go out and play. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's like the glue. It's like the glue that holds your paper together, I guess, if you want to say that.
But yeah, it's like yeah, everything's gotta like stick. This doesn't relate to anything, but
I'm on our timer. You go ahead. Yeah.
okay. But I saw this
Yeah,
Bill
you go.
Walton. Bill Walton, he the UCLA player, the commentator now.
Look at that dog, right?
Yeah, the guy who's like making dog noises. He's so funny when he commentates. There was this like video, and it said that like he ate a cupcake with a candle on it. It was like that was lit, and I watched the video.
I saw it.
Yeah, I watched the video, and his like his partner, he was like, "Oh yeah, you can eat the cupcake now." And then he looked at the cupcake, thinking about it, and the candle was lit, and then he ate the thing. So it's like with
it makes
Bill,
sense. The candle's just gonna go out right away, probably.
with Bill, it's like I guess he thinks for like a second or something, and then he just does it, and that's why he's so funny. There's so many characters in sports, and that's a good thing too. People are characters. Like if like Deion Sanders is a character, like Bill Walton's a character. Yeah, I mean, if they didn't play the sport, they would still be funny, and that's the beauty about it. It's like you're not going to identify yourself with just football. I can say so many other things about you that are positive when it doesn't really reflect football. And so like because you're more of a person than you are just a player. And so it's fun to see like the dynamic. It's fun to see the dynamic.
Pushing over player.
It's fun to see like the dynamic of like how people's personalities match with like their gameplay.
I like that. Yeah.
Right.
I have a set of 20 seconds left, but I don't know if we're gonna get cut off or not.
No, I don't think so. I think we're good on time either way. Connor, you got anything else to add?
No. Guess I just hope all the sports they're trying to play this spring get their seasons in. So yeah. Hope you have a good practicum at JMU. Our boy Thomas is working with the athletics, getting the inside scoop. So
inside scoop.
Hopefully he gets those girls and guys right, and hopefully they win some natty championships thanks to the help of Thomas Aguilar.
And that's the thing too. It's like I have to talk to the athletes as people first. I can't just talk about sports. That gets boring and dry. There's only so much to talk about. But if I ask, how'd you get your name? how, like, where are you from? Oh, I'm from here too, or I went to this school. It's like everything connects. Once you relate with a person, then it's just like it flows better.
It's a small world after all.
Yeah, that's what one person said to me too. It's like, oh wow, it's a small world. I'm like, I guess, yeah, it is, but
Hmm.
it's just easier to relate than it is to just like try to go around something and just talk about one thing. And that's what the podcast is for.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Think good sesh.
Yeah, good session. All right. I'm Thomas Agla with Connor Curley. This is the Hard 90's podcast. Always run through the bag.